It is a great honor that Sir Peter J. Ratcliffe, laureate of the 2019 Nobel Prize in Medicine, has accepted our interview request. Professor Ratcliffe was awarded for discovering how cells sense and adapt to oxygen availability. You are currently attending a meeting where high school students and university students are the participants. How difficult is for you to explain your results for people who do not have in-depth knowledge in physiology?
I think it's always difficult and extremely important that scientists are able to explain themselves. To be honest, the more important the scientific discovery, the easier it is to explain. Things are important, they should be capable of being stated simply. So we try to do that. Whether I've been successful or not, I don't really know, but I've done my best today to do that.
I think that you were successful. I met some students.
I hope so.
Do you remember the moment when you decided that you want to be a scientist?
To be clear, not really. It was more of an evolution than a dawning of realization. My intention was to be a physician, and I am trained as a physician. And it was a gradual experience that slowly I realized I enjoyed research and I wanted a job with the protected time to do so. I was very, very fortunate that the Wellcome Trust, the UK funding agency, was able to fund me at quite a senior level to set up the program on hypoxia biology, which is the reason I'm here.
When you were a junior researcher, did you have any mentors who guided you?
To be honest, I don't think I did. At least I'll define mentorship in two ways. There are some mentors who are extraordinarily impressive people who are active in their field and encourage you to join their field and help you decide what to do. There are other mentors who just give you confidence. So I had the fortune to have mentors that just said, Peter, you should be confident in what you do what you want. And I think that is the best type of mentorship. That confidence is required for many aspects of life, but particularly discovery science. So the output of discovery science is so unpredictable. What you need is confidence that you just might be right. And the mentors that I had, fortunately, were able to give me that confidence.
Did you have any challenges or unexpected results that pushed you forward in your career?
Well, we had them all the time. I've just given a lecture in about 40 minutes, which summarizes the laboratory's output in about 15 years. The reason I'm able to do that is that most things didn't work, and I omitted to describe those experiments to the audience. I concentrated on what did work and was able to distill those 15 years into about 45 minutes.
And why do you think, what are the key personal habits or mindsets that are necessary to be a successful researcher?
Well, many different people can do it in different ways, so I don't think there is any particular one mindset.
And what was your way? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I should be clear, I'm not a terrific intellectual thinker who's able to resolve matters with massive precision or skill. I would say I do have a bit of an imagination, so it was possible to think of questions, to think of interpretations of data, to think what the next step might be, and I think that imagination played an important part in that.
And you always had a connection with the practice of medicine as well, not only with basic science, right?
I did, yes, I did. I don't now, but I did until quite recently, that's correct.
And what do you think, how can young researchers be motivated even if the progress is slow or if they have uncertainties? What can keep them motivated?
I think they have to have a passion for research. People talk about blue skies research. I don't think that's a good description. They talk about curiosity-driven research. These sort of imply a sort of leisurely look at life. You actually have to have a passion. If you don't have the passion, it's not going to work. So I think it's that passion that some people have that motivates them to carry on and do these things, which will always need to be carried out in the face of some adversity or considerable adversity. The complexity of biology is such that it's very difficult to predict what might or might not be true. So most of your predictions will not be true, and you have to have the confidence, the passion to continue in the face of that. It's normal in biology.
I read an interview with you where you mentioned that what you do is not curiosity-driven research, but it is passion-led
That's
research.
what I'm saying.
That's what you are saying.
I would like to rename it. The curiosity-driven research implies a sort of casual perspective of the scientists, and it's not casual at all. It's passionate. And unless you have that passion for discovery, I think you're unlikely to succeed.
And can you teach passion to your young colleagues?
We can't teach it. You can allow it to evolve. So I don't think it's necessarily intrinsic that just as someone who is talented as a child at football becomes passionate about football, you can allow passion to evolve in a scientist, usually based on some competence or some success in the field. It develops. But I don't think you can teach it, no.
Okay, but then how can you motivate your colleagues, your young colleagues, to have the same passion that you have?
Well, I think the important mentorship that I had, as I said, is confidence building. Actually, in my case, I always had the option to turn back and be a doctor. So it wasn't, as some people say, a huge risk to take a career in science. I always had the fallback. But important people in my life gave me confidence that in myself and in the question we were trying to answer.
You have visited several places in the world. Have you ever seen a program that is similar to the Hungarian National Academy of Scientists Education?
I've seen programs that are similar, but perhaps not on the scale and passion that I've seen today in this one.
And do you see the passion in the students, in the high school
Well, I see it in
students?
the leaders, and I see that reflected in the students, at least in some of them that I've met.
Did they have good questions?
They did have good questions. Yeah, I had some of the best questions I've ever had in today's lectures.
Yeah, maybe a good question is the first starting point of a good research.
Yeah, if there are no questions, then you can doubt whether the impact of your lecture is significant. So there were good questions. There were quite a lot, and they were quite good and informed, and indicated, at least to me, that people had understood the lecture and the uncertainties that it brought up. But passion, I think this is a big, huge investment. Very impressive, vibrant, passionate. And with patience, and I would emphasize this, that the country will need to wait for the results of this. It takes quite a long time for the run-through from enthusiasm in late school life to university life to investigator to discoverer to discoverer of things that really make a difference in the world. That's a long journey, and I'd urge some patience on the part of the nation that this is a truly impressive but embryonic program which is clearly thriving.
Yeah, maybe it is very usual that science needs time.
Science needs time. Many things need time, but science needs time. Discovery science needs time.
And how long was your journey, starting with the first discoveries that were related to the Nobel Prize until the Nobel Prize? How long was your journey?
Well, the interesting thing, the journey was shorter than the journey to the prize. And I should say that science is about discovery, not winning prizes. The prize is an afterthought. So we started the work in the late 1980s, 1989. We had most of the major discoveries by 2001, 2002. So what, 12 years? And from that period, the, should I say, popularity, the appreciation of the discovery gradually grew until we won the Nobel Prize in 2019. Actually, a longer period than it took to actually do the research, which is rather interesting.
Yeah, but these prizes are important to show examples for the scientific community.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think one can argue about the wisdom or otherwise of prizes, but I think at the end of the day they do probably inspire young people. They do provide some charisma to science, and that's a good thing.
Thank you for accepting the interview request. Thank you for motivating the young scientists in Hungary. Thank you for visiting us. Thank you again, Professor Ratcliffe.
Well, thank you. It's been a great pleasure to be here.